Now, an Emeritus Newsbrief, I'm Lynn, Huston. Stinging words today in a House subcommittee over missed opportunities to bust Bernie Madoff before he took $50 billion in a Ponzi scheme from pensioners and other investors. Boston private investigator Harry Markopoulos says when he first notified the SEC about Bernie Madoff, the agency did nothing and never changed its position despite other obvious signals. The SEC also took bruising comments from members of the subcommittee.
What the heck went on? Your mission, you said, was to protect investors and detect fraud quickly. How'd that work out? What went wrong? It seems to me with all of your investigators and all of your agency and everything that you all described, one guy with a few friends and helpers discovered this thing nearly a decade ago, led you to this pile of dung that is Bernie Madoff, and stuck your nose in it, and you couldn't figure it out. You couldn't find your backside with two hands if the lights were on. Could you explain yourselves? You have single-handedly diffused the American public of any sense of confidence in our financial markets if you are the watchdogs. You have totally and thoroughly failed in your mission. Don't you get it? And now other people are investigating what you should have found out, and you're hiding behind, well, maybe we can't talk because someone else is looking at it. Well, you forfeited your right to investigate by not doing it, certainly not doing it properly or adequately. And now you're trying to tell us that because other people are looking at it, you're not going to tell us what's going on? Like hell you won't. What happened here? That's a question. Do we start with hear no evil, see no evil, or do no evil? Take your pick. I only have 5 minutes. Someone better start.
Let me start with enforcement. As I said, we did an investigation we began an investigation in 2006, and it was closed without action.
Why was it closed without action? What did you investigate? What methodology did you use?
And if in the interest
were you suspicious when a guy had a one-man accounting firm investigating a $50 billion empire? And you keep saying alleged, alleged. This guy confessed on national television, you might have noticed.
And as I said, our objective is to actually hold him accountable in a court of law, bearing our burden of proof.
You missed your chance.
We have a pending in the Southern District of New York.
You took action after the guy confessed. He turned himself in. Don't give yourself any pat on the back for that.
And, Congressman, every time...
Why didn't you find him is the question.
I understand your question, and we cannot answer as to the specifics. I can talk generally. You
know, if anybody made the case better than Mr. Markopoulos, and I didn't think anybody could, about you people being completely inept, you've made the case better than him.
Markopoulos says there are other investment programs that he suspects are a fraud, and he'll hand that information over to the SEC as well. President Obama explaining new rules for companies that get bailout money. Executives will be limited to pay ceilings of $500,000. By the way, you can see state-by-state breakouts for the stimulus plan job goals on the Emeritus News business page. Payroll company ADP estimates 522,000 jobs were lost in January. The figures from the Labor Department are due on Friday. Panasonic announcing the loss of 15,000 jobs worldwide, at least half of them in Japan. It is unknown how this will impact the U.S. workforce. More on the Emeritus News employment page. College students from more than 200 campuses across the country were shortchanged by an Aetna subsidiary from out-of-network reimbursements for medical claims. The case involves student medical claims from 1998 to 2008. The company, Chickering, an Aetna subsidiary, had used old data tables for processing Aetna student health claims. The company reached a settlement with New York Attorney General Andrew Cuomo to pay $5.1 million to settle the issue. See the Emeritus News Healthcare page for more. The House has approved the Senate bill extending and expanding the children's health insurance program. Several hours later, in a White House ceremony, the president signed the bill. The U.S. House also approved a Senate bill delaying the TV transition to digital. It means the analog signal cutoff is now moved from February 17th to June 12th. The latest on the biggest issues and public policy at emeritusnews.com. That's an Emeritus News Brief. I'm Lynn Huston.